Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I am Brandon Alvarado. Bleh, I forgot my name today. I am Brandon Alvarado, the Scarlet fan here, and I'm very excited to be with you guys tonight. We apologize that we missed because of me. We missed our regular Tuesday showing of the Amateur Otaku Podcast, but I appreciate for those that are tuning in tonight to talk anime with us here at the Amateur Otaku. And when I say with us here, I say that because, as you guys know, I don't just come into the webs to talk anime on my own by myself. I'm always accompanied by a suave man, by a stylish man, by a connoisseur of anime, Isaac Wolf. What is up, man?
Let's not pretend that it's always because of you that we postpone stuff.
I already took the blame.
I know.
Oh, you're just rubbing it in? I just want to make sure that we understand.
Exactly. Exactly. There's
Isaac.
stuff like this that why we were covering Nini Resurrection soon.
Why do you... You know that the little sanity that I have left is the reason that we record at all. Why are you trying to put the little sanity that I have left in jeopardy with the travesty that's Ninja Resurrection? I haven't even seen it. I know you made me watch Puppet Princess, and I'm still scared. So it's like, it's horrible.
My father has heard me and grant me my wish, my revenge.
Oh boy. So Isaac, we're here. Another night, another great time here to talk anime with people here in the webs. I think we have an awesome topic, another great Netflix anime. I can't wait to hear what you think. I have a soft spot for heists and like Ocean's 11 and those kind of like interesting double crock kind of shows. And I think this show is a particular nice brand of anime. I think it draws a lot from one of the more popular classic animes, which we'll talk about as we discuss it. But if you guys like what we do here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, if you're listening to us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and hit that bell icon so that you subscribe to our channel and you don't miss any videos. You don't miss any streams, any coverages. Every 2 weeks, we cover Attack on Titan. We cover the current final season. We're covering Promise Neverland Season 2. And we review and share our thoughts on one show a week. This last week, we covered Erased. This week, we're doing Great Pretender. This coming week, we're going to be doing Snow White with the red hair. We always cover different animes and with the goal of sharing our thoughts enough so that you guys will get all the information that you need so you guys can come to a decision on whether or not you should go check out a show. We want to be able to motivate people of all ages and creeds to go watch anime because there's something for everybody. So we always try and keep the show with as many varieties of reviews and shows that we cover so that you guys always have something to watch that we recommend. And if you like what we do, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Subscribe to and follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Stitcher. If you like what we do, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That actually allows a lot more people to watch the show, to find it, and subscribe to it. There's a lot of anime podcasts out there. I think that what we do is pretty unique and pretty cool. We're not the kind of people that shit on stuff. We just like to celebrate the cool stuff that's out there and things that you should check out and share a conversation with you guys. Also, I do want to make the announcement. We had a subscriber. His name is JJ. JJ, you recommended Vinland Saga. Isaac and I finally started watching it, and hopefully within a month, because of the different time zones, it's going to take us a while for us to watch it. But we're going to cover season one. We're covering season one. We're watching it, and we're going to cover on the show. We can't wait to share our thoughts with you, just as you recommended. We love getting recommendations from you guys, so please send us your recommendations. If you recommend the show to us, we will make the time and we will cover it on the show. Snow White with the Right Hair's recommendation from Isaac's sister. I have another recommendation from my friend Jeremy, who has recommended plenty of shows to us. We also heard your voice last week when we covered the anime known as Erased. Isaac, you know that I put a poll out there.
And people voted that we should cover the live action one.
Exactly. So I'm gonna put. Let me see if I can go ahead and put the results of the poll. Let me see. We can actually do this here, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna share the screen. So the poll was simple. It was cut and dry. We pretty much let people know, hey, there is a live action version of the anime Erased. And we pretty much see what you guys thought. 87.5% of people that answered to the polls with a total of 8 votes said that we should cover the live action Erased. And it's so interesting. First of all, I'm glad because we'll be able to explore it. But one of the most interesting things that I did find in regards to the live action Erased is that it is actually to the T, it is 12 episodes. It's the same amount of episodes as the anime, which is very interesting because it makes me think that are they going to try and cover every single thing that you see in every single episode? I even think that the first episode ends the same way the first episode of the anime ends. So it feels more not necessarily an adaptation, but like a translation of sorts. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say that.
Have you seen any part of the original of the any part of the live action of Erased?
No, I have not.
Well, the cool thing is that it's also on Netflix. So we are going to do our part. We just have to put it in the schedule, but we're going to do the live action Erased. We're either going to do it as a regular episode or we're going to do it as a bonus episode. So, or who knows, Isaac, maybe we can try and do a commentary or something. I don't know. But
for a show, I don't know. A movie, yeah, I agree with that part. Show, that'd be a bit much.
But I am going to say this. Since we're going to cover the live action Erased, please watch it and join the conversation. We'll make sure to announce when we're doing it so that way we can have a great conversation with comments and stuff like that as we cover the show. Now, Isaac, we're in. I think we've done all the housekeeping we've made all the announcements today and share with everybody how they can find us. We're here. This show came out last year. I think it was September of last year. There's a lot of interesting peculiarities of the show. But how did you first hear about this show because of Netflix, or did you know about this show prior?
Randomly searched on Netflix, like
Yeah.
a lot of stuff recently.
Yeah. It's like the amount of anime available on Netflix is growing exponentially. And they're getting a lot of, like, recently they put Demon Slayer on Netflix, which to me is a pretty big deal, especially with how big Demon Slayer is.
It's not on Netflix here in Scandinavia. That's on Wakanim.
Interesting, because they just put it on Netflix on the United States. So if anybody wants Demon Slayer, like to me, them putting Demon Slayer on Netflix on the States is because I'm pretty confident that the studio behind Demon Slayer wants people to keep watching Demon Slayer or want more people to watch it. Especially, it's kind of timely also being that the the North American release of the movie is coming up soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if that has something to do with it. Because if you have a lot of people with access to the show, they're probably going to want to spend the money to watch the movie. Because
Hmm.
that movie will not be available with a subscription. It's going to be it's going to be a purchase similar to the My Hero Academia movies and Heroes Rising and all that stuff. It's always like purchase related. Um, Now, something interesting about this show, Great Pretender, before we start talking about it and sharing our thoughts, it's another one of those anime only shows. Even though it does have a manga, the manga pretty much came out right in tandem with the anime. So this is another Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo kind of scenario where the anime came first, foremost, and this is an actual original project by WIt Studio, which I think is pretty cool because I think that a great deal of anime that become really popular or that come out there are based on a manga, are based on an already very popular book. Very few animes out there stand out in a way that they literally are anime only that come as a brainchild of a studio. Very few happen. Um, and I think this was a pretty good show. And also, of course, you want to be available on Netflix so everybody can watch it. They made a pretty big deal out of this release. Of course, Studio Wit. We all know that it was a studio behind Attack on Titan's first three seasons. Um, I think we were watching. I think Vinland Saga is doing
Yeah.
right. So Wit Studio is also doing Vinland Saga. What other things is Wit Studio doing that you can remember?
I can't remember on top of my head because they have a great sense of wit.
Oh my God, you need to stop. That's bad.
Never,
That no,
never,
that one in particular is kind of bad. um,
never.
Let me see. So they've done. Yeah, we know
They,
Attack on Titan first
they're
three
done.
seasons. Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, Ancient Magus Bride was a big one a couple of years back.
I need to finish that one. Maybe we can
Yeah.
cover that one on
Yeah,
the
that one is
show
always
soon.
like caught my eye. They also did the animated short that we love from Star Fox.
Yeah,
The the,
that
the ba-
they should.
that
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 they
was them too.
should do an anime, continue with doing an anime instead of that claymation idea that
Yep.
college humor was
Oh, that
supposed to
was
do.
weird. Yeah, that was so weird. When you shared that video, so weird.
Yeah,
We don't need claymation. It reminds me of Celebrity Deathmatch and really weird Christmas movies.
Let's go on with it and cover that. Cover the show. We are sidetracked long enough, I feel.
We have not sidetracked enough because for some reason you haven't made puns. So, Great Pretender. Isaac, I'm gonna read a quick summary. This was a really fun show for us to cover. I really am excited to hear your thoughts about it. Um, I'm gonna read a quick summary of what the show is about, and then we'll jump into our thoughts of the Great Pretender. Here we go. Makoto Edemura life. I'm sorry. Let me breathe. So here's a summary of The Great Pretender. Makoto Edamura's life of swindling is turned upside down when he himself is swindled by a master con artist, Laurent Thierry. From double cross to triple cross, airplanes to paintings, Great Pretender follows young Edamura as he continuously fails at keeping himself away from the con game, especially when the goal is to trick those that take advantage of those that swindle the innocent. He tries to get out, but the game keeps pulling him back in. Great Pretender is an original project by WIt Studio, directed by Hiro Kaburagi, and written by Ryota Kosawa. It is distributed by Netflix worldwide. So I made the summary very simple, very cut and dry, because at the end of the day, this is a show about con artists. And you could say that it's like a mystery box kind of show in a way, where you don't want to say too much as if to ruin the experience. But yeah, it's a show about thieves, against other thieves. It's about con artists, about double crosses, about arts, about money, about gambling. But it's also about gray morality, about doing the right thing. There's a lot of little things here, apart from the fact that it's pretty funny. It's also pretty funny. When you look at when you do the descriptions or the genres that the show falls under, it's considered a crime comedy anime, which is kind of weird. I think that's very vague. But it's mostly like a comedy anime, and I think it's a modern take on Lupin the Third to a degree, or at least it tries to. And for those that know anything about anime, especially classic anime, Lupin the Third is one of the more popular animes of the 70s and 80s, which follow the gentleman thief, Lupin, and his escapades, stealing great high-profile things, and then an inspector always one step behind. It's like the Japanese Pink Panther, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Lupin the Third was, except there was no panther. Isaac, you've seen too many anime, even though there's no such thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's never too many anime.
Yeah. So, Great Pretender, thoughts?
Meh.
That's it?
Yeah.
Come on, that can't be it, really. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm only gonna ask. So you're giving me meh. So I'm not gonna say that you're shitting on it, but I'm gonna ask you: did you simply just find it boring, or is it the subject matter that doesn't entertain you? I mean, because I think there's plenty stuff interesting on the show, but I want to hear what you think first.
How should I put it? This, to some degree, feels like a con artist version of Dragon Ball, because you can see a bit of a formula that they follow within the story arc that they are using, and on top of that, they're using, quite frankly, over the top villains that they are working on to con, in order to making them looking like a good guys, even though they are lying towards their tea, and so to speak, and when they are just constantly lying, I'm just gonna okay. It's just those moments where they allow themselves to be honest with each other, have some characters moments. Those are the best part within the series, so to speak, because, well, that's character involvement, and all that jazz. And it's because of in the formula for those specific heists, because I'm not going to go into detail of what type of structure it has, but it gets pretty obvious real fast, and how everything is gonna end up in each and every story arc, so to speak. And quite frankly, the first episode of the the first episode of the second arc, in my book, should have been the last episode of the entire series. To be perfectly frank, because the way it decided to continue feels rather. It just really. Then why even bother have this subplot part until later? Not until later on, which just. And don't get me started of Laurent. In my opinion, he's like a Walmart version of Han Solo.
Oh my god.
He's a smug know-it-all that this acts like he doesn't. I don't know what you were talking about, and I'm just, yes, you know. You might as well just say right up front that you had everything planned, and I would have an easier time swallowing your behavior.
Man, you really hated this show.
I wouldn't say hate it because
what else would you say? Listen to yourself. You did not. Did you not have? You did not have enough enjoyment to it.
Because I really enjoy. I really enjoy the animation because it's one of the most unique animation. I like the attention to detail in terms of architectures. How they want to distinguish every location that you were a part of. That I think WIt made phenomenally. I think they have a unique style of doing the character design, and which I feel was sort of like a nice fresh coat of paint. And I have to admit, seeing them trying out to have the voice actors talking in different language slash dialects in order to make it seem like more worldwide, that it's just not isolated, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of, so to speak, it made me sort of like, oh, they're trying to world build and not just sort of because how should I put it? You know the Millennium Trilogy, the Swedish, it's on the Swedish books.
Oh, as in
Lisbeth Salander and all.
Yeah, from
because
Stieg Larsson.
Stieg Larsson. For example, of what I mean, I just I can't remember where I'm going with this now. So let's scratch this. But it just, I can see where if someone that joins the likes of Now You See Me, Ocean 11, those kind of movies will really enjoy this show. I can totally understand that in comparison to Genesis Evangelion, who I can't understand how someone can enjoy that piece of pretentious shit, but that's besides the point.
Hello, I'm Brandon, and I love Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah, and that's why I question their taste sometimes.
I hate that show, but anyway, that I don't know. Maybe it's just sort of like Megalobox, but I have more opinions of this show than I had with
See,
because I can't say that I hate it, but I can't say that I liked it either, so to speak.
but it was different. I remember our conversation on Megalobox, which if you guys have not checked that out, it's on YouTube. You go check it out in our archive. Um, the thing with Megalobox was that you just couldn't connect with, for example, the relationship that me and Leo have with boxing and American icons and movies and media and boxing, which is what kind of connects us with the type of story that Megalobox is telling. You know what I mean? So you don't have like you didn't grow up with Rocky. You know what I mean? You didn't grow up with that experience. You didn't grow up watching boxing. You know what I mean? Like we probably did as we grew up and we followed to a degree. So it's more closer to home for us. Similar to, um, it's funny when we were watching Villain Saga the other day. I found it fascinating how you kept checking, um, like checking boxes history wise, and how they're doing a lot of history good because I know that Vikings, or some to a degree, it could be considered part of your history or history that you grew up with. You know what I mean? Especially because of that side of the world. It's close to where you're at. So there is that connection, which for Megalobox I had, you didn't. For Vinland Saga, you have more than I do. Now, you said something very interesting. Apart from the fact that I can tell that you didn't like the show, which is good. It's okay to say you didn't like it. Um, because based on everything you've spoke about so far, it's not as simple as it's not as simple as you disagreeing. It's like you this show wasn't for you, and because you kind of struggled to find the appeal to a degree. But you did say something that I think it's key. This is a show for a particular audience. This is a show for people that like leverage, for people that like the show Leverage. The people that like the show like House of Lies. Like if for people that like the show Casa de Papel, or people that like the show, or people that like Ocean 11, Ocean's 13, that like the heist episode from Rick and Morty. Like this kind of show is kind of for that crowd that like this this the con man game. You know what I mean? Like the Thomas Crown Affair,
Yeah.
or this other movie. What was this other movie with Matt Damon? The Talented Mr. Ripley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This show is for this kind of crowd, and that's one of those things that you have to have. You have to be open for that exploration to get the fun, because the fun is about the quote unquote heroes getting the final turn, getting the final laugh, and getting over the 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 target, because you don't have villains, you have targets. But what the show tries to do, which to me is what I enjoyed, is that you have the con mans, or the con family, or the confidants, or whatever. For some reason in English they said confidence man, which nobody calls them confidence mans, they call them con mans. um, they make them seem altruistic, in the sense that they are a type of Robin Hood. They steal, they con, they trick, but when they do it against people that have taken advantage of others that don't have, and those people that could be considered evil or bad. They only do it to them. So it kind of their goal is to so it kind of makes you feel that you're following the heroes to a degree. But what I like about the show is that it adds the additional layer, just like a great heist has multiple double crosses. It adds the additional layer of Makoto. And Makoto as a character is interesting because he is a living embodiment of someone that is divided.
That doesn't know what place he has in society.
Well, but that's the thing, though. He knows, yes and no, but the division with him that I find so interesting is that for someone that wants to be the best person he can, he really wants to be someone moral. He wants to be someone righteous. He doesn't want to be the same as his father, that was this heinous criminal. As far as I've seen for season 1, he wants to be a better man. He wants to be a good man. He is just incredibly talented when it comes to con artists, to conning people. He is just good at it. He's smart. He is brave enough. He is nuts enough. Like, he has everything that he needs to be an expert con artist. But what keeps him from being that, even on the times that he tries to go all in, is the fact that he wants to be a good person, that he doesn't want to be the con artist. That, like, it's like he kind of like, he wants to be, he's the best con artist, but he does it for the art. He doesn't want to do it to be rich or so, you know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why I think the show is called The Great Pretender, because he's pretending to be someone that he's not, to try and become the person he wants to be.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious in my book, honestly.
Right. So it's all about him kind of like denying to himself that this is the only way to do it, but then that's the only way he knows how to. And every time he tries to run away from the game, from the con game, he keeps being dragged in by noble reasons, but at the same time, it's his own ego, he's allowing himself to be seduced by the game once more, which is why I know you said that comment about Laurent, which is the Han Solo type, which is why I think Laurent is interesting, because Laurent, more than Edamura, Laurent is kind of the audience, because he's watching everything from the outside, and he's kind of like that one character that he's that perspective, like, you think that you know everything, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, you think you understand where this is going, you don't. And mainly because of how he observes all the other characters. So I kind of like that dynamic. Like, he's always kind of like goading Edamura in one side, and Edamura always caves in. He always knows what's going on with Abby, with Cynthia, and all the different characters. But no one can surprise him to a degree.
No, I take the Han Solo part back. He's Walmart low-level Lando Calrissian instead, not Han Solo.
Oh my God, I don't know how I feel about this, but did you see what I'm saying? Like, he's kind of like, he's always in the middle of everything, but outside of everything. And that's.
He clearly is the one pulling the strings and all, and
no.
The whole thing in the beginning that he is making, I'm not gonna go out and say why, felt so convoluted, and I'm just.
But here's the thing. See, here's the thing. It's interesting that you said that. Thank you, Landon. We love you too, buddy. I have no idea who Boss Cags is, but thank you. But you see, you say that about Laurent, but at the same time, and you say the word convoluted. But when you're talking about
He is also he's also a class example of fanfic with studios. Yes. Here, audience, here a character you can write fanfics of.
See, but that's the thing, though, and again, that
And-
to me is your lack of enjoyment with classic heist movies. You need a Frank Ocean or Larry Ocean. I don't remember the name. You need someone to be.
Here's the thing. I actually enjoy the Ocean 11's movies. This was just
See, but that's the thing. But the goal is not for you to analyze things; it's for you to just go for the ride and see where the characters end up. That's what it's all about.
still.
No,
Still.
you didn't like it. It's fine. I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Is it a 5-star show like the greatest thing I've ever seen? No. But it was a good time. And I like the characters enough for them to see the different things, especially when you start getting into the personal stuff. Especially like um especially as you go into the case 2 and 3, which by the way, what an interesting way of setting up the season to divide everything by cases. I think this is maybe the first time I've seen an anime organize its episodes that way.
Yeah.
I think it was very creative and it worked very well. And in my understanding, it was released on Netflix that way. I don't think it released. No, correction. I think it was released because it was originally released in Japan, and I think it was released in different chapters or different cases.
It didn't release all in one.
Right. It was released by cases. So pretty much episodes 1 through 4 is case 1, episodes 5 through 10. If it was 5 to 9 is case 2.
You can argue that all the cases is sort of like mini seasons.
Right.
And
So you have mini arcs. Yes. But the cool thing is that you can kind of watch, they're like 4 different movies. They compose different movies that you can just watch the cases by themselves. Because also in between each case or each target, there's a lot of time that goes by. Like sometimes even years in between. And the characters are always in different places when you find them again, which kind of goes back to this idea of bringing the band back together and doing a new hit and stuff like that, which to me is fun because it's a different experience. Now, I am going to say this, which I know you mentioned, and I think it was the one thing out of the entire show that you actually commended. The animation is amazing.
I will say this also, which is also pretty funny before you continue. I will potentially enjoy this series the more if, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but it would have focused more on the on a certain redhead character that joins later on than the Laurent or Makoto, because I found her the most interesting of the bunch.
Me too. I liked her, but that's the thing, though. That's what I like about the show, because Makoto and Laurent are your gateway into the world of Great Pretender. But
was just bland characters with
they're not
yaoi
bland.
fanfic, with yaoi fanfics in the making. I mean, Jesus Christ!
Oh my God! See, you say, but I think you're being a bit too harsh, because case 2 where they go into Abigail was pretty good, and case 3 when they go into
I'm a bit
Cynthia
okay. I can be okay. I might be a bit hard because they are not Shinji or Kirito level of badly written characters, at least.
Wow. See, now you're being personal. Now you're getting personal. That's messed up, bro. That's
Sorry,
messed up.
but people
No,
know how
you're not.
people
You're
know
not.
how much I dislike those shows. So that was the best examples of what I could use.
We're not. We're not going to argue about sword art today. Today's not the day. Okay, today's not the day.
You get what I mean.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're not bad written characters. I think they work for the type of show that they're doing. For the type of show that they're doing, it works.
Okay, it's okay to pretend and be in denial. But anyway, let's go on with it.
But no, but the animation is amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you, and you're probably gonna be angry with what I'm about to say. But the structure of the show, especially because of how stylized the animation is, it reminds me a lot of Persona 5. Especially the stylized animation, the
In terms of
way
stylized animation, that I can agree upon.
and the idea that they're thieves, they have targets. I know
The
it's
Phantom
stupid.
Thieves are much more interested in.
I don't disagree. Too bad they have a horrible anime. So carry on.
Oh, that anime. Such a disappointment. Hopefully,
It was.
the Persona 5 Strikers is a lot better in terms of sequel instead of an the sequel to the vanilla Persona is gonna arrive on the Western market later this month, and I hope it is good, both story and gameplay wise. But anyhow, on with the show, and don't pretend we shouldn't pretend that we are have an episode about it.
Oh my god! But yes, so I enjoyed
You can't
it.
pretend that You can't pretend that I'm not using pun all the time. It's me we're talking about.
Every time you keep trying to use pretending upon it hurts. It keeps hurting my brain. Can you stop hurting my brain? You've already hurt all my emotions by saying that you hate this show.
I didn't hate it. I'm just dislike it. But
trust me, Isaac.
I hate Genesis and Sword Art, but this is just.
Yeah. See, and that's sad. I think it's safe to say I think we've reached an impasse. I think there's not much more to discuss. The music is pretty cool. I like the music. It reminds me a lot of Cowboy Bebop.
That music.
I wonder who's the composer for this series.
I don't know who it is, but the music is pretty good. The music, and it's really fun too, is by Yutaka Yamada. Let me see. Let's see who Yutaka Yamada is. Yutaka Yamada has done a lot of Inuyashiki, Kingdom, Bleach. She did the music for the Bleach movie, for the live action Bleach movie. That's pretty cool. She did all the music for Tokyo Ghoul, for Vinland Saga. Damn.
I could hear that. Isn't Tokyo Ghoul also WIt Studios?
No. Tokyo Ghoul is Pierrot, if I'm not mistaken.
Because if
I think it's Pierrot. Let me see.
If that was WIt also, that could just be an indication of the composer work. Have a what's it called? First hand exclusive with that animation studio.
Yeah. No, Studio Pierrot was the studio behind Tokyo Ghoul. But yeah, I mean, Great Pretender. If you like heists, if you like heist shows or heist movies, I think you'll enjoy Great Pretender. I think for being, I
can
think
say
for
this
being a
though.
show, okay.
I can say this though. We talked about doing both seasons before it ended up being just the first season, and I can give the series this the first season. That is, I don't know, and it was a first arc or something. I don't know if they are going to, if there is more for season 2 later on, but that. The first arc, at least, of season 2 is much better than the first season, at least. I will give it that.
So what you're trying to tell me is that we should cover season 2 so that you can share how the show won your heart
I wouldn't
and
say one
how
of my heart, but
and how you have been conned into spending your nights in writing Laurent and Makoto fanfiction.
no. And good that you mentioned it, because now I'm just gonna look up some more horrible old school anime for you to watch.
Oh, you live to torture me, don't you?
Always, my friend. Always.
I'm glad that you consider me your friend enough to torture me. So, if you like heist shows, if you like heist movies, Great Pretender offers you a nice and fresh anime version of it. It's very interesting that this came out last year, which was the year that Lupin the Third got a new movie. Which, by the way, I think we should cover it at some point because Lupin the Third has been out of circulation in terms of anime for almost 20 years.
Yeah,
And
I
it
think
came
it
out
was.
with and it came back with a new CG animated movie, which is trying to bring a beloved character like that back. Because I think that there's always a space for great gentleman thief stories and tales. I remember I saw the show Lupin on Netflix, which is with Omar Sy. It was the French show, which is fantastic. It's phenomenal. Um, and Great Pretender is not as good as Lupin, but I like to have a nice, fresh anime version of a good heist show, which gives the show, which is a testament to the fact that there's an anime show for everybody. And even though this show was not for Isaac, I personally enjoyed it quite a bit. Um, and I think that if you like heist shows and want to watch some amazing animation, because this is great animation, you should check out this project by Studio Wit. I think it'll be a good time, and we would love to hear your thoughts on Great Pretender. And if you guys go check it out and you enjoyed season 1, let us know, and we'll cover season 2 of the show. Isaac,
Yeah.
those are my final thoughts. Do you have any more final thoughts, or any final thoughts at all?
No. Just disappointed that this series didn't click with me.
But see, don't be disappointed at yourself. You're just no fun. That's all that means.
Okay, now we're definitely covering something that should not be mentioned right now.
Oh my!
I have the perfect punishment for you.
I don't know how I feel right now, but yes, go check out Great Pretender. We want to know what you guys think about it. Isaac was meh on it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I personally enjoy heist shows, so I am gonna say that's like a bias on my end. So,
Wait,
so
what did you say? What do you mean, Landon? I mean, ha ha ha.
I don't know
Check.
what's going on.
Check comments with Landon.
What is going on here? Oh my. Landon, why do you feed the pun beast? That is not your job. Your job is not to feed the pun beast. This cannot be happening. He even put drums and okay, I'm done with y'all.
Before we go, do you know where Cow's favorite subject is?
What are cows' favorite subject, Isaac?
It's not music, it's calculus.
I can't believe. Why do I humor you? Oh my god! This is bad. We all you are scaring our one audience member, Isaac. You need to stop.
Sorry, Landon.
But go check out Great Pretender. It's a good time. I really want to hear what you guys think. I do want to cover season 2. If you guys want to cover it, whether I give you my thoughts on my own or I cover it with Isaac, go see it on Netflix. Let us know what you think. The best thing about this show also is that because the way it's segmented into cases, you can actually just watch 5 episodes and not watch anything else for like a long time because you can treat each case like a movie. I wouldn't be surprised if you can actually buy them or get them like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would have been smarter. It maybe would have been smarter to release this as 3 individual movies, similar to the BBC Sherlock. You know what I mean? Similar to the BBC Sherlock series, where each case is like an hour and a half movie. You know, that maybe would have been an interesting choice. But the fact that they divided it the way they divided, it's oh my god. I don't think I'm ever going to end this show. This is so bad. That is so bad. That is so bad. Okay. But you can watch the first to give you. Don't even stop, Isaac. I'm actually looking it up here. Pulling up Great Pretender. So, what you heard was the music because I don't know how to mute things. So, for example, if you look at season 1, case 1, which is like the first movie, case 1 is episodes 1 through 5. Case 2 is episodes 6 through 10. And case 3 is episodes 11 to 14. So you can just watch those groups of episodes and enjoy the different stages of Great Pretender. And the cool thing is that you can watch them in different orders. Like you can watch each case one in front of the other. Yes, there is a chronology, but the chronology has nothing to do because it's like picking up a book and just finding these characters again and enjoying those characters again. It has that old-fashioned sense to it, which I enjoy quite a bit as well. Yes, I like this show. I enjoyed it enough that I'm telling you to go check it out if you like heist shows.
And I can
Don't listen to Isaac. Don't listen to Isaac. I'm kidding. Listen to Isaac because Isaac doesn't point people in the wrong direction. We just disagree sometimes.
If you like heist shows, this is a perfectly serviceable at worst for you.
At worst, oh my god. So, thank you for joining us.
That wasn't even a pun. I said
I know
it's serviceable at worst. Because
you're pretending to greatly not pun. Okay, so calm down.
What? No, you're confusing me.
Thank you.
I can't say that I pretend to follow you.
I think we're done, Isaac. I think we're done. Isaac, you do a lot of awesome stuff on Twitter, on Facebook, in the world. Where can people find you?
You can find my puns on Twitter at Emblemaniac, and you can find my work over at Wobum Entertainment. And also, the cow was so afraid of messing up because the stakes were too high.
Isaac, can you stop Googling cow puns?
I can't. I didn't Google it. I know that in my head. I have like 25 cow puns that I can do on the top of my head.
I don't know why, but I don't doubt it. I believe you wholeheartedly. Oh my god. I'm Brandon Alvarado. You can find me on Twitter at the Scarlet Fan 52. You can find me on Instagram at the Scarlet Fan 52, and you can find me on Facebook as Brandon Alvarado. I do original music. I'm going to be writing stuff for Woman Entertainment very soon. And you can follow us at Amateur Otaku Pod on Twitter. We put polls, questions from time to time, and we post our podcast
Also,
whenever we do it.
I forgot about it. We have a question also from
Really?
the Green Knight mustache girl.
Ooh, when did that happen? That was late earlier today?
Yeah. What anime would you compare this to?
Ooh,
And
I never got that question. So wait a minute. Did he write it like in the comments or?
in the first tweet we did.
Oh, okay, cool. So what's the question again? Let me see.
What
Was it the
anime,
first tweet? Was it the first tweet from earlier this afternoon that
what anime
that we put
would you
out?
compare this to? Also,
Okay,
from what I remember, this is one of the few anime series that take place in America, right?
that takes place in America, you mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Well, it's one of the few. Like you don't really see that much. Okay, so let's see.
Well, you are watching more. You're someone that most more watching more con shows than me. And is there any anime that you could compare this to?
Um, I mean, I said it multiple times. I mean, the easiest thing for me to compare the show to is going to be Lupin the Third
Yeah.
because you really don't like. In reality, you can't really say that there's a monopoly on heist anime because there's not really a lot out there that I know of. I don't know a lot of anime about thieves or anything like that I know of. I know there are plenty out there, but I know that the one that's most popularly known, even by people that probably don't watch anime at all,
Yes.
and that anime is Lupin the Third. Like Lupin the Third is this symbol of it's anime royalty. I think this is the best way I can say it.
The great Hayao Miyazaki's first
Caso Cagliostro. Yeah.
first directorial in terms of movies was
Yep.
Lupin the Third movie.
Yep. Caso Cagliostro. That's how big this was. This is.
Blood the Last Vampire is one that I do believe was in US. Sorry.
I mean, there's a lot of movies that I mean. Well, no, that one
That's
takes
the
place
only
in-
anime I can think of as well. Went was in America.
Yeah. Now that's the thing, though. It's hard with anime too because with anime, it's not just about it being based in America. Is that you also have a lot of anime that even though they don't take place in America, the place kind of works like America. Like for example, Carol and Tuesday. It's very Americanized.
Yeah.
You know, Cowboy Bebop as well. Like it feels Western. It feels like you're in the United States or places that you would see in North American movies, even though it's taking place in space. Um, anything militarized, heavily militarized, could be confused or seen as American to a degree. But yeah, Lupin the Third, hands down. That's the best thing that I can compare it to. The big difference is that this one has a lot of Great Pretender has a lot of modern sensibilities, and Lupin the Third kind of feels that it's cheeky and Pink Pantherish on purpose. You know what I mean? Like it's very on the nose on purpose, which this one not as much, even though it doesn't try to hide things as you would expect. Does that make sense? like because
Yeah.
Lupin the Third does have that old-fashioned humor that was known, that old-fashioned adult kind of humor. Um, that should be pretty fun. Would you cover that? Would you cover that 3D Lupin movie? That should be fun.
Cover
That should be fun.
more than just a 3D one.
Yeah, that is true. So, guys, thank you for joining us at the Amateur Otaku. Make sure to subscribe and share with your friends. Those were our thoughts on Great Pretender. If you have an anime that you'd like to recommend to us, let us know. Send us a recommendation to our Twitter, Amateur Otaku Pod, or send us an email, amateurotakupodrtf@gmail.com. If you have any thoughts or comments, let us know. Send us questions. We would love to answer your questions and continue the conversation with you guys on Twitter. Whenever you guys write on YouTube and give us comments, we always comment there too. And we answer back to you guys. And we also, like I said, we want to receive recommendations from you guys and put them on the schedule and cover them. We're going to be covering Snow White with the White Hair this Tuesday, which is a recommendation from Isaac's sister.
She
And
has asked me to cover that for watch it for almost. We'll say 2 to 3 years.
So it's finally happening.
Yeah.
And then we're watching Vinland Saga for another one of our subscribers, and we have a lot more stuff to cover. But if you guys recommend stuff to us, we have a list of things that we want to cover. But more than anything, we want to cover the things that are going to create conversation with you guys. So make sure you let us know. And until next time, we will see you on the flip side, guys. Have it awesome.
Moo.